Hey, what's up guys? This is Castle Bravo, and today I'm commentating for Fear the Hash. And for those of you who don't know me, which I'm assuming most of you do because Fear the Hash is kind of a group of friends. But if anybody doesn't know me, I am the resident Canadian, or one of the resident Canadians. Um, I believe only Plasma and Tren are the other two. But we're not talking about them, we're talking about me. So Um, I am 31 years old, so I'm probably older than most of you, if not all of you. So I don't know what else to say about that, but yeah. Um, I am commentating over some Modern Warfare 2 because I am terrible at Modern Warfare 3, and I I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about that because everybody goes on about weapon balance in any new first-person shooter game, and when Modern Warfare 2 was new, they were bitching about the weapon balance. Uh, I never actually played Black Ops yet. Now that I have a new computer, I might give it a shot sometime down the road, but I watched a lot of videos about it, and people were complaining about the weapon balance there, although it didn't seem to be as bad as Modern Warfare 2. And now that Modern Warfare 3 is out, the usual blames are going around, and I'm not exactly sure why I keep coming back to Modern Warfare 2, but I think it's more balanced than people give it credit for, and I'll tell you why. Because one of the biggest things about weapon balance is recoil, and recoil is basically the main aspect of a weapon that can be the difference between a gun being overpowered or just being somewhat good or bad. Like, for instance, you take, in Modern Warfare 2, the L86 LSW, which is a light machine gun, and the ACR, which is an assault rifle. And now everybody knows the ACR has zero recoil, and it's basically the same way in Modern Warfare 3 from what I can tell. But in Modern Warfare 3, you also have weapon proficiencies that allow you to reduce recoil even further. But in Modern Warfare 2, they all recoil the same no matter what they have. I know there's a few minor things with some of the weapons, but it's not really recoil, it's more like sway. Anyway, so yeah, let's say you have an L86, your enemy has an ACR, and you both start firing at the same time. Chances are the ACR is going to win because his weapon will not veer off course, especially long distance. Like if you're both fairly far away from each other, the ACR will win pretty much every time because the L86 recoils so badly. And they try to balance that by upping the L86's power, and the ACR is relatively weak even with stopping power. So it's a trade-off. And I find that the biggest one that people seem to have a problem with in Modern Warfare 2 was the UMP-45, which has very little recoil. It does recoil some, but not a whole lot. And the thing with that is it also has fairly high power, so that was kind of a problem that maybe they should have addressed. Generally the way I would think it should work is that if a weapon is insanely powerful, it should have an equal amount of recoil. Likewise, the less powerful a weapon is, the less recoil it should have. That's just my opinion. But it seems to me that that would make things a lot more balanced just by going by those two factors. So, I don't know. People complain about those things, but there's also another big problem with these games, and it's usually why the submachine guns are so prominent, or the machine pistols, and that is that they have such a low hipfire spread that you can basically snipe people from a mile away without even aiming down the sights. And to me, that shouldn't be at all. Like, if you hipfire anything, you should have a really wide hipfire spread. Whether or not you're using an SMG or an assault rifle, it shouldn't matter. You know, basically, if you don't aim, you shouldn't be able to kill somebody from any kind of distance by not aiming. You know, and it's the same thing with akimbo weapons. The spread is reduced for akimbo weapons instead of increased. Why, I'm not sure. Because you can't aim either one of them. You can just fire. Now, in the case of like G18s or something where you have a really high firing rate and you can just spray down anything, I can see that. But akimbo pistols or something, there's no way that the spread should be low on those. But I don't know. I don't design the game, so I'm just kind of trying to figure out why I keep coming back to this. And I have played some Modern Warfare 3. As I said, I'm terrible at it, but I found it's not so bad. Like, okay, I'm going back to Modern Warfare 2 again. When Modern Warfare 2 first came out, there was a lot of people using the UMP, a lot of people using ACR, and akimbo G18s. Those were the three big ones. Now, not so much, because Modern Warfare 3 is an older game, you know, a couple of years, and a lot of people get bored with it, or you know, just want to try to switch it up a bit. So they're starting to use other stuff now that I've found, and even on this is actually Alter IWNet, and I found on Alter IWNet that people tend to vary their weapon choices, which is good, and it makes it a lot more entertaining to play because it's not always the same thing. Well, Modern Warfare 3 being a relatively new game, it's always the same thing. You have the MP7, you have the akimbo FMG9s, the PP90M1 I think is another bad one. That's one of the ones that you can basically snipe somebody without aiming. And ACR, no recoil, MP7, no recoil, you know, it's always the same stuff. And it gets frustrating to play when it's like that, you know. In my case, I enjoy going through the weapons one by one. Usually, each prestige, I'll use one set of weapons per class, and I'll mix up the classes so that I'm using a lot of different things. And then the next prestige, I'll use the next gun down in the list, and so on and so on. And I find that entertaining because it really gets me to use every weapon and find out which ones I like, which ones I don't like, based on my own personal preferences, not on what everybody else is using. So, but when you constantly come up with people, or come up against people that are using nothing but the bitchiest weapons that they can find, then, you know, it doesn't really get you far. I'm trying the L86 right now for an LMG. I think my assault rifle is the M4. Trying to think of what else. But yeah, like, I'm trying to switch it up, and I'm not using anything that's overused at this point. I think I have the FMG9 set as a secondary for a couple of my classes, but I don't have akimbo for it, and I rarely ever use my secondaries right now because I'm trying to get used to the primaries. So, but you know, trying to pit an L86, which has, I think, even worse recoil in Modern Warfare 3 than it does in Modern Warfare 2. But, you know, try using that against somebody with an MP7. You'll never win. And it's really, really frustrating. So, anyway, guys, this game's about to end. I hope you enjoyed my ranting. I hope you enjoy the content that I'm trying to bring to Fear the Hash. And I hope to bring more eventually. As I said, I'm 31 years old, and I just had a child, so my videos might be few and far between, but some of the other guys on here are more regular posters, so anyway, my final score is 65-20. Hope you enjoyed. My name is Castle Bravo. My link is in the description, and I'll see you guys later. Take it easy.